Hi, I'm Denise and I'm the founder and therapist of Infant Hope Counselling. I wanted to come on today to do a video to see how you all are, offer some updates and reflections. So, how are you all? We're coming to that time of year where expectations are quite a lot and we're all in this state of doing and anxiety and panic. Now, some of you will notice that I've got Christmas earrings on. That is because of an announcement that I'm going to make, not because I think it's time to put the Christmas tree up yet. If you have yours up, that's no judgment, and if you're enjoying it, great. I think it's really difficult. The beginning of November, as perhaps earlier now, things are in the supermarkets earlier. I notice a real trend with my clients that we start to talk about the preparations and plans for Christmas and the season itself and how they're going to navigate things. And one of those kind of patterns that happens is we suddenly go from having enough time in each day to live our lives and do our tasks, and on the weekend to get some rest if we're lucky, and then suddenly we hit November and that's all gone. Now, I'm very much a Christmas person. It's taken a long time to get me there. I never used to be. I do enjoy Christmas, but maybe not for the same reasons that Hallmark or John Lewis would have you believe. For me, Christmas is the season of hope and goodwill to others, and that's what I like. I like to think people are a bit kinder, a bit nicer, although I know that's not always true, and that people often can find those seedlings of hope in such a dark, difficult time. However, for many, it will be filled with traumaversaries, difficult times, reflections of the choices they've had to make or the things they've gone through. I have clients who are estranged from their family who won't see anyone this Christmas. I'll have clients who equally will be with their family and that will be harder than not seeing them this Christmas. It's not just families either. There's work dues, financial commitments, children's activities, and then this idea that we all have to be okay all of the time. And I picked on John Lewis there because obviously their adverts are quite emotive, but we look at Hallmark films and they're perfect, aren't they? These great, wonderful stories where everything comes good and these big family Christmases that are just amazing and everyone's kind and love each other. And I wish the world was like that, but we all know it's not. So I just want to say that it's okay if you're struggling and if you're looking at your next few weeks and thinking, how am I going to do it all? And one of the things I think is really important is to set out expectations really early, not just to other people, but to yourself. If you look at your calendar or your diary, is it jam-packed? Is it likely that A, you can do all those things, and B, you want to do all those things, and C, it's going to make you happy to do all of those things? There's such a pressure sometimes if we've got 2 or 3 events to say yes because we don't want to let anyone down. But the truth is the person we're let down is ourselves because we're not bringing our best self, and also we need to rest as well. So setting expectations for what your plans are and what you're going to be able to commit to, I think, is a really important starting point for Christmas period. I'm really sorry, I'd love to come to drinks but can't do that. I've got conflicting things in my diary, and obviously if there is you and a partner, delegate, ask them to do things as well. Don't be a hero. You deserve a break too. But the truth is, I think many people at this time of year start having flashbacks, panic attacks, seasonal depression, their anxiety ramps up, everywhere becomes crowded and busy and bustling. And if we're in that state of anxiety, that can be a real barrier to accessing connection, community, and just everyday things like food shopping or going to the cinema or one of those things. And then there's things like Christmas parties, which are supposed to be full of festivities and fun, and for many they are, which is great, but not everyone can afford to do that, or not everyone wants to be in those social settings. And particularly my clients who've experienced complex trauma and often sexual violence, it's very triggering to be in those settings. So when we then feel like we're the odd one out, or we're missing out, or that we're different, it can be really challenging. And I think really importantly is to name some of those feelings with someone you can trust. Obviously, I'm a therapist and really do believe in the value of therapy and connection, but you don't have to be in therapy to start talking to people about what you're struggling with or what you're worried about or the expectations that you feel are on you. And trying to stay sane through the Christmas period is really important. And by that I mean, ever had one of those days where you don't know where the minutes are gone, your to-do list has just grown 50 times longer, you haven't talked to anyone all day, you haven't eaten, and it's quite challenging. And I myself am finding quite recently I'm struggling to sleep. I'm waking up with a to-do list in my brain, and so I've decided to download a free app where I've got my to-do list on so I can add to it. I don't beat myself up. I choose the top 3 tasks to complete each day, but by adding it all on a list and not in my brain, it's starting to work through those things. And I think we have to think about our own expectations. If we've never been shown what a good Christmas is, if we don't come from a home where Christmas was celebrated and held with joy, if we've had complex trauma, can we really expect ourselves to invest and understand what it's like to have a Hallmark Christmas or whatever version of Christmas there is for you? So I think self-compassion is also important. I'm not going to talk too much longer about the season because I will be doing some of the bits and bobs around that. I am excited to say that my podcast equipment is finally here, so I'm hoping to record one before Christmas. It's going to be called Holding Hope, and initially I'm hoping for a weekly, maybe fortnightly, and it will be a really lovely mix of things. So some reflections on life itself, a mental health theme, something topical, and then I think some music that is pertinent to the situation. I will have some guests on from time to time. If you're interested in being on the podcast, or you've got a subject matter you'd like covered, please feel free to get in touch. And the other thing, I have heard you, I have listened, the amount of clients who are amazing and wonderful who've asked me to drop some Christmas merch. I have done that. I will put the link in the post below. Please don't be offended. It is quite dark and sarcastic humour. There is a couple of nice bits, but it's kind of along the veins of what my clients like and some of the things that we laugh about in our sessions. So please don't be offended. There's nothing there that is too offensive, but I think it's meant to be a bit tongue-in-cheek. So thank you very much for everyone who's given feedback, who's watching this, who asked to engage more in social media with me. Quite a few clients have asked me to do more videos, think about podcasts, so I'm here and I'm hearing you. So really importantly, I hope for now that you're all well and that you continue to navigate the next few weeks as best you can. And if you're struggling, that you reach out for support. And it's okay that pretty lights and gorgeous trees and wrapped gifts aren't how you feel about this season. It's also okay if Christmas is just another day and you get through it in any way you can. I'm thinking of you all, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.